Hi, I'm Abhinay Jain, and you're listening to The Garage Story. In this podcast, we speak to startup founders about their zero to one journey, those first, often messy steps of turning an idea into reality. Powered by CleverTap for Startups, we are all about real, unfiltered stories of grit, growth, and everything in between. And today I'm excited to have Priyank Jain with me. We are going to talk about UrSpayce journey, how it started, what they do, and what are their plans. Very excited to have you on this podcast, Priyank. How are you feeling today?
Thanks, Abhinay. I'm really feeling good and excited to share whatever we have with the audiences. So, looking forward to it. Thanks for inviting me here.
Great. First thing first, Priyank, can you explain what is UrSpayce? It's a unique name, it's a good name, but what do you guys do?
So, we are a new age modern workplace software. Enterprises who have a employee centric and digital first approach, we and wanted to empower their operation teams. There comes our software, which is redefining how the workplaces are built. We we have a very solid mission behind it, why we started and what we started to it. So what we have observed is that every day millions of people work from the workplaces and spend countless hours, and we wanted to make that enjoyable. We wanted to make that valuable, productive. For that, me and my wife, who's a co-founder as well, and some of my techs who has been techies are working with me for my last first startup as well, are we together. We are on this mission to digitize these workplaces globally. So that's what we are doing it currently. Yeah.
Got it. Just again, little bit. If I have an office, I went to your website. I can see you had three products primarily, which I could understand. You can book desk, you can book meeting rooms, or and there was one more. I'm forgetting. There was one more booking
Visitor
for
management.
yeah, visitor management, right? I can understand these are few of the things that is going to help any admin manage their workforces, right? um just when did you guys start? Was it before COVID, or did COVID actually lead to inception of this idea?
So the inception has come. I believe that any founder who, if he wanted to build an impactful or a billion-dollar company, he has to be a subject matter expert of that domain. And this was a learning when I exited with my first startup. Was being acquired by US-based investors. That me and my co-founder Lokesh was not the subject matter experts as bloggers. We were techies, but we were not bloggers, and we built a solution for the bloggers. So from that learning I had in 2018 when I exited my first startup, I
Yeah.
decided this. That I will first become a subject matter expert, and then only will solve that problem, which is very big enough for the, where we can really create an impact.
Yeah,
Just
sorry to cut you here, but yeah, let's take it here. This is very interesting, right? Because before you come to the idea, I think this it makes more sense to just go a little deeper into your own journey. Your first startup, right? If you can tell a little more about that startup, how did you do? You have had successful exit, so maybe we can go there first and then come to how you started your space.
Okay, I think my entrepreneur journey starts quite even before going to US for my masters.
Okay.
I always wanted to become an entrepreneur because I feel that I can solve a problem because I'm consistent on anything which I'm doing. So that was one of the qualities which I always feel that every founder should see in the mirror and check that are they consistent enough, and be in a good time or a bad time, will be the consistency will be there. So that was one thing. So when I went to States post my masters, I was a traveler. I have been traveled to 14 to 20 countries by now. I used to travel like Friday night, Friday evening, 4 p.m. I took a flight, and then 2 days going to a country and then come back. That sort of a person I was there in my early 20s. So that gave me an idea of my first startup, Blog Beats, which was location based blogging. So in Google, you can search about the locations, what's there, finding hotels and all those stuff. But you don't know like what's happening in the city in terms of what are people are about, what are their thoughts, what are the different events going on. All that stuff is not there. So that was the foundation of Blogbeats, a location-based blogging platform. We were very ahead of Medium days, what Medium is doing these days. We build a technology where automation to all your content goes to all your social networks. You can plan your calendar. It's completely made for bloggers and any enterprises who GTMs are for blogging. So that's how my journey started, and it was I came back to India and post the US studies, working in SAP, and after that came back and uh, established that in Bangalore.
I actually want to ask this question. I'll keep it there because you are one of the few entrepreneurs who's building from Bhopal, which is in a way tier two city in India, right? So we'll come to this question. This is an important question that I want to come back. For now, we'll come back. So 2018, you learned for 5 years, you built, you had a great co-founder. What happened next after 2018? How did we reach your space? When did you start it? And what happened in between?
So my dad got retired from Indian Railways. He works for Indian Railways for almost 33 years, and so one of the reasons I wanted to live with parents, that is number one.
Mhm.
So I started with Bhopal. Secondly, the cost of living and the peaceful life in Bhopal is just to the next level. I feel Bhopal is one of the best city of India to start a company with or live with. We 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 keep inviting a lot of IT companies and SaaS companies to Bhopal. Start from here. It's an amazing place, and anyone who comes to Bhopal fall in love with that. So that was another one thing. And yeah, so that started the thing. And then since there was a learning that I wanted to start something where wanted to become a subject matter expert, I choose workplace, because workplace is a very huge market to capture, because every human being spend time at home, and then office is the maximum time is spent. So we try that this is a bigger problem, and there will be a lot of problems where people are spending time. So I invested in Central India's largest co-working space, opened in one of the largest spaces, more than 12,000 square feet. I still sit in the above floor in Bhopal in that same area. My company is there. Your space is now there in that floor. So we opened that, and we took it to 14 cities in next 4 years. A lot of managed offices. We were managing Amazon. We were managing Teleperformance, Stellite, you name it. A lot of enterprise clients we were there.
And this was under the name of your space or
No, it
something?
was Workspace City. It's a different
Space.
it's a different brand name. My younger brother, cousin younger brother, came from Ireland, so I also wanted him to explore this more.
Right.
So he was also working. Idea is to work with the ICPs. When you understand the problem of your ICP, whom you're selling it, the head of the admins, the directors, the security guys, the all these people where whom you build the solution for, right? You understand the pain points better. So we did it in 4 years, me and my wife. And once we were sure that it's the right time to build a technology for them, until that we really worked. And now my cousin takes care of that, and I completely moved on 2 years back before starting. So I do one thing at a time. I don't do multiple things at a time, because I wanted to stay focused and consistent. So as soon as that has been there, then I started this your space. Yeah.
In which year did you start then? Your space?
2021 we started. I gave a call to Manoj, who called himself employee number one. He's the one guy. He's been there with Blockbeats with me from 2016. A
Got
great coder, great amazing guy. Loves to code. So I called him that, hey, I'm building something nice. Would you want to be part of it? And he said, why not? So he was working with the company investors who acquired them. He left that job. He came to us, and then we started building and see where we have reached.
Now I just want to understand, right, your space again better. What do you guys do, right? So in a way, if I enter, so today I am sitting in this office building. When I entered, there was a register in which I entered my name, number if I'm visitor, okay,
Mm,
and I came to this office. That is a manual register which is there.
correct.
So tell me about your first offering, which I saw, visitor management. Does it solve this problem? What does it do?
Yes, it's completely solved, and it's solved in a very innovative way as well. So visitors are always divided into three parts. One is either your invited visitor. So a company is invited. You can be for an interview. You can be your vendor. You can be anyone.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
any employee can invite you. So we have solved in a way that people can invite you from your Google Calendar. People can invite from an app. People can invite from anywhere, and you will receive a digital pass before you come to your place. So
Right.
as soon as you come to your place, you just need to scan it on a kiosk or a device which has been there, and a notification will go to a person that, hey, Abhinay is here. So it
Right.
solves the problem of collaboration and communication as well. And data has been recorded, so you don't need to maintain a register in that way.
Right.
And different companies plan different processes. If you are a fintech company, you want to take it the KYC, you will have an agreement also signed while entering into. A photo will also be taken, so everything can be customizable in your space. Any different infinite workflows can be planned. So depending upon what workflows, what type of information an organization wanted to create or take from the of the visitors, they can take. So that is when it's all called SOC compliant, ISO 2701, uh, and total encrypted in transit in row. So we are an enterprise software in that way. So yeah, that's the visitor management for us. So you, and in fact, entire digitally, you just need to showcase, and it's also linked with your Apple Wallet or your Google Play. Just showcase, link, scan, and notification will go, and
Invited
checkout
is
can happen.
managed. Yeah. So a visitor I can still understand, and you mentioned there are three type of visitors. One is invited, other two.
So well, this is, and then second is, people who are requested, and in requested there are two type. Either they can request from the home. So like let's assume CleverTap has a website, and in that people can just enter to the information that they wanted to meet Abhinay, and
Okay.
Abhinay will get a request, and they will Abhinay
Yeah.
will approve,
Invited, requested.
and pass will be there. And third is with, even with somebody walks in, just impromptu they walks in, and they can be anyone, right? So there is a kiosk or a QR code outside where people can fill up the form and wait for the passes. So this is generally how a visitor journey has been designed. And completely there are a lot of other use cases, the lockers, the prohibited list of items, there are tons of features in this journey.
Now let's move to the second product, which I want to understand a little more, is the meeting room booking, right? Which is what I saw on your website. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? At any point. So meeting room is basically if I have an office, there are 15 meeting rooms in my office.
Mhm.
Do you help book these meeting rooms? Provide that? Is that the solution? Because I don't know how, but sometimes I see on my Google Calendar there is an option to add those meeting rooms, so it's already available. So just explain the meeting room booking feature a little better.
Okay. So we are a complete all-in-one meeting room solution has been there. So for example, CleverTap has multiple conference rooms. So admins will add those conference rooms. They will add how many seaters are there. They will add what are the amenities like projectors and the different things have been there.
Got it.
How many people? So you can have different rules of occupancy that at least three people needed for the space to book it up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so these all things of availability of finding a room, is it available, not available, booking with the teammates, and also booking with the vendor if it's coming up. It's also linked with the Vista Pass. So Vista Pass will also create room, will also get booked. There is a display outside. You can use a display outside where it shows the availability of the room, what are the available. You can book it from the tab from there itself. So it's a complete booking management system. We give them, and they can utilize for availability of the rooms, booking of the rooms. That's what enterprises are using it up. And we have multiple interfaces: QR code, website, book it from Slack, book it from Google Calendar, book it from Microsoft Teams, all those.
Understand. And when you explain it, I can also relate some rules, etc. There are some challenges that are always there. So yeah, technology can help us solve. Once it is well integrated, it can be really useful. And I'm assuming
Double bookings won't be there. If somebody does not come to the meeting, the room will get cancelled. So there are a lot of things which solve the problem of a people, so that best of the resources should be utilized.
got it. So in fact, now I can also extend the logic and understand how the desk booking can also be a feature.
Yeah,
Okay, which is the third part.
correct.
Good to know this, and I can understand the pain point you're solving, and must have been your own validation from the customers. My next question is, when did you get the first customer?
Hmm.
How did you get the first customer?
I get a first customer on September 15th of 2023, and inbound. I have no customer who I know. Everyone is inbound. So
Okay.
there is so much demand in the market right now that we, as I said, that we understand inbound very well. So ads have been running on, and fill people. It's a PLG motion. You see, you are a champion in PLG. You understand this better. So directly sign up has been done. People sign up, and as soon as they enter the detail, we understand that this customer has an intent to buy, an intent to use. So we also wanted to entertain those customers who willingness to use the system, other than we reaching it out to them and building the case. That's something we don't do it. So that's what we got a first customer. They're a government organization based out in Pune. Uh, I can name it. C4I4 is the company name. Um, in the heart of the Pune University, and they're expanding to 10 locations. So we got an upsell as well. We got a new product pipelines are also being inbuilt. So that was the first day. This September 15 is the renewal is happening. So understand that's why we started using CleverTap as the renewal is happening. We will have a lot of use cases like this. So subscription has to be moved, notification has to be done. So yeah, that's what we did, and it took around. We started an ad in around August. It took around 40 days to close the account, and yeah, that was fun. And
Great.
when you get a first customer, yeah,
Always a special feeling.
I will always be obliged to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I understand is 2021 you started, within few months you must have created the product,
So we took
launch.
around 24 months. It's an enterprise product.
Okay.
It's not something the use cases have been built. It's a very robust, all our architecture, enterprise way.
Okay.
So we took good time because we have a conviction.
Right.
So we built it, and by God grace, we got backed with the VCs as well as with the company like Opeka, like SaaS accelerators and angels. So we got a time and we built it up properly, and we did it. So we took around two years to build the product rightly, and then in August 2023, something around, we started our first ads, and that's how the journey has been started.
Awesome, awesome. So got great. So I mean, yeah, most of the SaaS companies they take first 1 year or so at least to develop the product. These are
It
important,
took a
and
little longer time. There might be good. I don't say this is a only right strategy. There are multiple strategies where people build
Mhm.
a small application and start building the stuff. But since we wanted to create an experience as well as solving the empowering the tool, so somebody will buy a final product only when it has been ready. So we bought with that strategy. Most of the founders also do. They start building with the customers. We did not did that. We choose that, we know that this is the requirement, so let's build first and then start selling, so that it saves time with the customers.
Got it. That's an important insight that, there are two ways to build, but at least when you are probably going after enterprise, or, having built a product in past, you knew what it means, right? Once you have built the product, then selling it is much easier that way. So makes a lot of sense. What was the team size, right? Probably in 21 you started, just you and your co-founder probably, right?
Uh,
And how it has grown in last 21, 22, 23, 24, if you can
so we
share a little
started
bit.
with three people:
Yeah, Manoj.
me,
Yeah.
Shilaka, and Manoj. And Manoj is the person who writes the code.
Mhm.
uh, and it grown up to around 21 people now. um, and in 21 there are a lot of so building a companies also have some rules. In the early days you should always have 30% full-time people, 70% on payroll, so that if there's a hard time comes, you can plan your cash flows as well. So
Yeah.
I did that strategy as well. Understanding the cash flow, that since we are on the mode of building, right? So
So
we
sorry, here it's an important point that you are making. Very early days, you are saying 30/70.
Yeah.
So did you outsource, and what did you outsource? You are a software company, so did you outsource the technology part as well?
No.
What? How did you manage that? Yeah.
Technology we build it on our own.
Okay.
The accounting part, the legal part, the finance
Yeah.
part, HR part, um, what else? Marketing part, brand building exercise part. All that mostly.
Non-core, you move towards
Non-core. Tech,
outsourcing.
tech has to be, and in tech also, you can plan in the future that you can have somebody for 3 months, depending upon if there is single integration. So our first Google integration was been built by somebody we hired for just for 3 months. So the cost, you know. So yeah, it's a planning. You understand when you start building it, you'll realize that.
That makes a lot of sense. So, Priyank, my next question is COVID has happened and COVID has changed the workplaces. Fundamentally, many workplaces have been changed. Organizations have moved to hybrid model. And
Correct.
hybrid model requires multiple things. Like, let's say you have a 400 employee organization, but you can still have 200 or maybe 250 desks and
Correct.
still work, because you ask people to come maybe 2 or 3 days in office, and then you have that, right? Is that did it help you a lot more? How was the impact of COVID for you and your business?
It did not impact. It was an opportunity.
Okay.
It was blessing, in actually it's a blessing. So one of our product called Desk, where in any organization who's in hybrid can implement Desk. So we have a charter where people can set up 2 days working from home, 3 days working from home, and people can choose the desk when they will coming, and admin team will know how many people are gonna come today. They can maintain the occupancy as well. So we took this as an opportunity. It's a blessing. Number one. Number two, COVID has helped immensely in digital adoption for the companies. People want touchless things. People don't want it to have registers. People don't want it to know. So it has actually helped rather than impacted. It has helped in our case for sure. And it was a moment like what Paytm used to have post demonetization, right? Same way it has actually, you can see that COVID has helped companies who wanted to where enterprises started buying digital adoption more. Options were before as well, but now they have been, the mindset have changed.
Makes sense. Makes sense. No, I totally agree with you on that part. That it's a tailwind because of the remote working, the hybrid working that has
Yeah.
come. Now the question is, today, right? When I also, by the way, just curious to know this. Do you have any data understanding on how many companies are doing remote? How many are doing for full days? Any data? Any pattern that you have seen?
Yeah, eventually, in the early years, mostly companies were gone to hybrid, but at least in India and Middle East, the nature of the people are is more about talking each other and spending time and building together. So physical offices have more value than hybrid. So we are seeing the change that people are coming back to office more, and hybrid is reducing. Whereas the companies who have switched to hybrid, they are still on hybrid, but the number of days, 2 days working from home or 3 day working from office, they've planned that stuff. We have customers like Upshop and all. They still have hybrid and they're still using the solution both ways. So yeah, that's there. Yeah.
Got it. Can you name few of your customers, or how many customers do you have at this point?
We have around 11 customers by now. 11 enterprise I'm talking about. We have smaller customers as well, but 11 enterprise we have.
Okay.
And to name few, the first is Gupshop, C4I4. I've already told you.
Yeah.
There's a company called IPRS, which is Javed Akhtar's company, which is responsible for all the royalties of the music. So they have been based out in Mumbai. We have India's largest construction company, one of the largest construction company, Dilip Bilkon, using in all the premises. We have customers in Middle East as well, like a Petrogas and a Virgin Paints. So yeah,
Nice.
these are the ones, and there are some amazing enterprises joining this year. We're very excited for them, and yeah, and that's what the reason why I told you that since we're in growth stage now, we need CleverTap.
No, that makes a lot of sense. No, so I understand now that what is the product, why the need is there, right? And early traction also shows there is some need, right? Which you have just shared. Next question I have is, what do you need to do to sell today? Do you need to do, is it a category which is competitive? When you go there, people are like, hey, there are these three competitors, right? Which are there, or you need to do concept selling, right? People are still not sure what it is, and you have to tell them that this is the solution. In a way, you have to create the category. So what is the state today in terms of
Buying journey, Abhinay, will never change. People will try multiple things before buying something. So they will try. Okay. I think the best product and the best package wins. So you need to price, packaged, uh, features, and one thing which we really learned from the companies like Freshworks and Zoho, which we have implemented, that we ship we ship features in 1 to 3 days or 7 days. So we
okay.
are we are we are very fast in feature shipping. So you need to have those types of things which makes your sales things faster. That's where we are in a very faster mode, where we implement things faster. The pricing and packaging is very appealing to the people, and the solution which we have is in a completely fresh way. It's not something the old way. It's a completely SaaS. We are also trying to implement some AI poweredness coming in the recent. We just launched it, a new kiosk AI where automatically you scan the photo, you scan the and check-in happens. So there are a lot of things which we are bringing on as well. So that's how it is.
Correct. But are there any big names that can, because with enterprise sometimes it happens, right? If there are big names in this space,
Yeah, there are
then
big names. There is a company, so competitors like Envoy, they have amazing. They just in last 4 years for 4 million ARR, they have gone to 70 million ARR. They have been valued 1.3 billion dollars.
okay, wow.
Amazing growth. So a lot of amazing companies are coming in this domain, and it's just the way we are focused in India, Middle East right now, and US also will soon go in around 8 months of time, and we'll competing with the best. So we are building a global multi-billion-dollar company from Bhopal, and we wanted to be like how Girish and Mr. Wembu has been done. We wanted to follow that path, and same as I really admire Anand's work as well, who is the founder of CleverTap. So yeah, we are working on that. Yeah.
Great, great. So I'm happy to hear that focus is on customer, focus is on our product and competition. Market is huge enough. Any idea on the market size? How many enterprises?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
and
it's it's currently around $4.8 billion market. If you consider that, and which is growing around 13.4 CAGR, and by 2032 it should reach around $20 billion. It's a huge market, and you know I this calculation of TAM and SAM is very subjective. I see as higher the ACV, just multiply into the number of ACV the customers which you can build. That's how I calculated the TAM way. But Gartner and other people are being just. I receive every 2 days I receive a Gartner thing that, hey, we wanted to partner with you. The space is so hot, and we that's what we are looking forward to also. And that's why we have been here. You should build a right company, right time, and this all the digital adoption has increased the buying pattern of the enterprises.
got it. So that's good. You have a team, you have the market, you are building early days, but you have already started building good love, customer love that you are seeing. My question to you is, you did mention about building it from Bhopal or tier 2 town. Okay. You have your benefit, you're closer to family.
Yes,
Just if an entrepreneur who is in tier 2 town building a SaaS company, right, is listening to this podcast, right, sometimes they have this thought, because they're not in metro cities, be it Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, for that matter, right, they're losing on talent, they're losing on possibly connects, etc. How do you feel about this, and what's your thought? What do you gain when you work from a tier 2 city like Bhopal? And for that matter, there are so many great cities in India for to build these companies.
great question. I think I'll give you in a very four-word answer to this. Okay. So any entrepreneur, any person who aspire to be an entrepreneur, he might be in tier two, tier one, irrespective of the location. The one of the thing which I have learned over the years is conviction reduces the risk.
Conviction reduces the risk. Explain.
Okay. So mostly people don't start something they feel it's very risky. But if you have conviction that this is the larger problem you're solving,
Hmm.
right? Then it's not a risk. You are very calculated, you understand this. So your conviction to be at a higher side. Nobody can convince you about the market, about how you want to sell it, is there is demand is not there. So you prepare yourself. So conviction is the key thing. Anyone who is starting. So example, anyone who want to start also, conviction is the only thing which I feel is the first thing which founder should have. And if he has that conviction that, hey, I'm the one who can solve this. I understand this very well, and you're a subject matter expert of the domain. I don't think so that uh,
Location or
yeah,
city matters to you.
doesn't matter. No, no, no.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Do you think it has advantages, like you are away from the noise sometimes, also sometimes you get good talent because there's a limit to the number of companies you're competing, right, when you come to few of these metros. Have you seen that happening, or do you see that more often, like sometimes it's the social or the networking part that people miss, maybe in your office or you yourself, right? What do you see more?
Everything has advantage or disadvantage, but I will see at the current time there's more advantages working from a tier two city or a tier three city than
Hmm.
a tier one cities. Uh, so as I said, that focus is very important. The consistency is very important. That can only come when you are in peace, and you are in peace. These cities you are in very much peace. As a founder, you can think more. You're not thinking about others, what people are doing, or wo kahan ja rahe hain, ye kahan ja rahe hain, all that stuff. So that is something which really differentiate. That is number one. There's great hunger in the people whom you're hiring here, and so you get a very right type of people who wanted to build you together. So that's another thing. Third thing is there are a lot of people who have been working in Noida and all other places are from Bhopal. They wanted to come back, a company who can pay, good and has a great culture. So these are also one of the things which we build the people in our core teams. So we always think that if somebody wants to come back to Bhopal and wanted to work, and so we are the ones whom you can definitely look up to.
Fair point. Fair point. Last question on the same thing. How do, because you have to you are raising funds. I think you have raised funds as well, and probably you'll raise more because you are still in early journey. You need investment to grow it faster. How do investors, primarily VCs at seed or Series A stage, right? What has been your interaction, and how have you seen them, kind of, reacting to building from Bhopal or a tier two town? Is it positive, negative? How do you see, or is it just neutral? They do not, they are indifferent whether you're building from Bhopal or from Bombay.
No, VCs are very mature. A lot of people on the LinkedIn keep saying things, but VCs are very mature. Either it's in India or US. You know, they understand the pulse of the market very well. It doesn't care for any location, doesn't matter. They bet on the founder in the initial days who have the understanding of the market and what they have built. That's something they do. And I think VCs are looking for true founders. And if you are a true founder, and definition of a true founder is you should true to yourself, you should true to people. If that has been there, VCs are ready to back you. And
Nice.
choose your. There are so many VCs, out there. You can plan it just like how you plan your customers. You can plan them as well. They also
Hmm.
look forward for these qualities because they are also, if your success has been dependent on their success, so they will also choose wisely, right? So it's just like how you get a co-founder is exactly like you should think about whom you wanted to have a VC on board. And we are pretty, that we were backed by one of the great VCs, like Peer Capital. Ankur is a great guy, great partner. We also backed by Upekha, largest SaaS accelerator of the world, run by Prasanna, Raj, and Shekhar. So that's been there. Angels on board like Sharda ma'am, top 100 women of India. You know, um, and we have some recent things also coming up from Dubai and everyone. So you will find good people. Uh, so don't think that VCs are not replying. If something exciting you're building, they will reply. Why they not? Everyone is looking forward for a good opportunity. Either we are not able to cater that opportunity, and we have also received a lot of no's in the Asian days. So that doesn't matter. It's just like they didn't have an understanding, or might be our communication is not that great. But that
Right.
doesn't break your conviction, right? That's why I said conviction is very important.
Do you think because you are a second time founder, you have good connections and you have learned few things? First time founders sometimes are not that outgoing to ask for help. They sometimes keep it to themselves. Do you feel so?
So
Or
there's a differentiation between social and not social. So I am also a very non-social people. I don't go to events. I don't go to parties. Okay, and believe me, I have real connections. I don't have. Uh, I build relationships. So okay, that's the mantra of things. So first time founders, if they are true to some and if they ask for a help for any founder, if they even write an email to them, they will respond.
correct.
So all the advice to people who are starting it up, ask for help. If they feel that they can help you out in a true manner, and believe me, reply coming is not an issue. If they feel that I cannot help that person, it doesn't come. So it's more about everyone's thinks, you just ask and they will help. Well, let's assume I ask Abhinav and Abhinav just help. That's not the case. It has to be, if you're asking for a help, just wait for it. So I feel, yeah, I've seen first time founders do it, but for particular my case, when I started, I never hesitated for help. I asked, hey, can you help me out in this? In fact, when I was looking for a co-founder in my company, and I'm still looking forward to, Anand recommend somebody from CleverTap on LinkedIn, and I reached out to that person. And we are still in a very good stages of discussion for a co-foundership in a larger role. We're looking for a great salesperson in US, who can be a co-founder. So you need to ask for help, and people help you. Yeah.
Nice, nice. That's a good advice, right? Ask for help. It takes a, we say, right, it takes a village to raise a child. It's a startup in early stage is nothing new. It's just like a baby. So you have to ask for help, and that will help you grow.
You're a new parent, right? You don't know how will the child will behave.
Correct.
So you need to
Great.
have grandparents. You need to have these people who can help you out. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of friends who have already been parent. They'll guide you. Yeah. So that's right. Yeah.
Great. So, what are the plans now, Priyank? I think you are in a good space. You have started, you have seen the traction. And what are the plans for next 1 year, next 3 years? What are the key metrics that you measure in terms of some KPIs that you have? And what are the plans for for those numbers? If you can share something at this point, and how do you plan to take it for next 1 and 3 years?
I think crossing the first million ARR is the first milestone. Second is profitability should be there. So we are almost there on crossing the profitability. So that's number two. Third is starting in US and having a co-founder there. That's something one of our milestones which we are doing. In terms of the metrics which we track, we always tracks the product usages of the companies of the brand we're using it up, and we're in constant touch with the companies. So this is for the people. So if they are not using it up, there's no point of building something. So we regularly track that, and I think if you ask me a larger goal by 2030, some around we wanted to get listed in Nasdaq. So we will want it to be following the path what Girish has done from Freshworks, and yeah, and that's what we are doing it. The first million and then 5 million and then going doing it up, and we have a larger ACV, so we are not too many quantities of the customers we needed. It's more about lesser people, and we can build up a great company from here. So
Got
it's from building from Bharat for the world. Yeah, that's the story we are in.
No, definitely. So in terms of revenue goals you have, right? First is always the 1 million ARR, and then 1, 5, 10, and then it goes. So that I can understand, and probably you would like to reach the double digit by within next 3 years is what I can, and definitely feel that
Yeah, I think a million will just cross within this year itself. We're very close. We are contracted almost there,
yeah.
but realization is something which I always track. And great pipeline is also be there. So around
So actually,
14. Hmm.
on that, the next question. So these are revenue numbers, but to reach revenue numbers, you might be looking at some kind of input, or what to say, input metrics, right? Let's say how many leads do I get? How many customers
We have.
are?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
can you share a couple of those numbers which are very important, which gives you an idea that how your quarter is going to be?
So generally, every month we see around 35 to 40 companies signing up.
Okay.
Okay, and out of 35 to 40 companies, we see around 15 to 12 companies come to the POC stage
Okay.
and post the demo and POCs, and post POCs, at least out of that 6 to 7 companies get customers. So it's like out of 10, let's assume this way, 70% comes for a demo, 50% or 40% come for a POC, and 15 to 20% comes for the conversion.
Got it.
So
So
that's
you
the
look.
rate which we are in.
Yeah, sign-ups, POC, that's how you look at the funnel and
Correct.
improve.
Correct.
How do you think, just exploring what can make this sign-up funnel grow, let's say 2x or 5x for you? What is the biggest way, or any experiments or any hack that you could
That's
tell?
something which we are experimenting with CleverTap. That's what we signed up for. Uh, the information of what we have. Sometimes the the different feature things which we have, the way we are solving it up through emails. Regularly, you can design the sequences because some people create sequences in their outbound, but we in the PLG post the sign up also different sequences can be created,
Right.
sharing a video, saying a hi on a Loom, video, or an email going on, or something. We just solve a bigger problem or use case of a customer. I think these are the things which we think that this will help to increase our sign up to the first POC ratio. That's something we wanted to increase, and post that, I think it's all a skill game for the SLG, since we are in a PLG plus SLG mode.
Yeah.
People who don't know, is product led growth plus sales led growth. Then we improve, and more the more salespeople start understanding the products and selling of the things, it also get improved. So training part for the SLG and information part to the customer is both vice versa goes together.
Got it. Understood. Understood. So you'll improve the funnel at the same time invest in people who are assisting the PLG motion,
Yeah.
and that's how the efficiency will come into place. And then once it is there,
Correct. And
start the.
communication has to be there constantly with them, not bugging them up, but mostly about how can we help them if are they facing that, you know.
Got it. What is that one thing today, right? As an entrepreneur, we want to do so many things, but what is the biggest hurdle you feel for growth today? Like, I'm not building enough fast enough. I'm not getting enough capital to do marketing, whatever, right? What's your hurdle today?
I think great account executive is something is a bigger challenge for us, because right now it's all founder led scales. I can share you there is a 10 pointer scale of repeatable scalar mode. I can share with that with you guys. So I have a very 10 pointers where we can reach. So right now it's all founder led growth,
Okay.
which I wanted to shift to non founder sales growth.
Hmm.
So it's the entire deal should not be dependent on founders. So that's something which we are trying to solve, and blocker is that we are finding right people. So it's not about we just hire any salespeople. No, we don't go that way. We wanted to have that quality of people who understand workplace, who understand the pain points of admins, and can relate that. That's where something are currently the blockages are. I think rest demand is there, and so we just need to explain to the customers. It's more explanatory, and also we've invested in gotten good PLG, so we're trying to build more and more UI UX in such a way that it explains more and more insightly. So yeah, that's where we are in. Yeah,
Got it. So it has to move to a sales team now. That's the next part where you want to
yeah,
build a playbook, and then people can go in different geographies and just crack deals, close deals, and that's how you grow.
correct.
So good to hear that. It has been a very smooth conversation, Priyank. I mean, I learned a lot of things, maybe because we are also into SaaS subscription business. I could relate to a lot of things. Also, the workspace in itself is easy to visualize what the solution is. So I could understand. Loved the Bhopal angle to it. I have been to that city couple of times, and I have always liked the city. Also, what you mentioned about building from tier to city and how your journey has been. That's very inspiring. Any last words around any mistakes or anything that you have done while building your space that you just felt hey, this I should have avoided?
Yes, don't hire wrong people, and don't hire those people where you want to help them.
Okay.
So listen,
Just go a little deeper where you want to
no,
help them do that.
sometimes you see that a person is in needy, you help them out.
Push.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's more about you help them out with some money, but don't hire them in a team.
Okay.
Hire a specialist and hire when it is required. We made some mistakes where we hired people because we feel yeah we can build them in a core team, or not required right now, but let's start building. These are the mistakes which we have done in the early days, which was quite expensive.
Right.
So we don't wanted to repeat that thing. So as a founders, spend more time on building your team, right people, which is one of the learnings which I have personally seen in my last 3 years of journey, which we are into. So yeah,
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing this, Priyank. We are very happy to have you as part of our retention accelerator cohort as well. SaaS company, retention cohort also, as you mentioned. One of the things, the pain point we hope we can work together on is the funnel improvement, right? Which is there. So glad to partner with you, and always cheering for you and your space team to grow, to take the business to multiple countries. And yeah, hopefully very soon, by 2030 is the target you have set for yourself. Very soon we also want to see you getting listed
we
in
will
US.
we will we'll try our best. And
Thank you so much for your time, Priyank.
thank you so much, and looking forward. And thanks for the time, Abhinay. And I really appreciate our entire CleverTap team for getting into our this amazing retention accelerator. And look forward to work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.